Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and our retro games series. Today we're building Donkey Kong in Scratch. 4 slanted girders, broken ladders, rolling barrels that drop down ladders at random, fireballs spawning from the oil drum, and hammer power-ups. It's all about the gravity today. The stage runs the things that belong to the whole game. Hi guys, if you have any questions about the blocks or ideas for me to build, please comment below. Clock. The bonus timer starts at 5,000 and drains 100 a second. Run it to 0 and you lose a life, exactly like the arcade. A guard flag makes sure only one life is taken, even if a barrel hits on the same tick. It also keeps the session high score. Whenever your score beats it, we copy it across. There's no saving to disk, so it resets when the project reloads, which is what we want. When a new stage is built, the stage paints the right backdrop for one of the 4 level types: barrels, rivets, harder barrels, or the moving platforms. And all game long, it loops the tension theme. One short bass line over and over, the heartbeat that makes the climb feel urgent. Guys, don't miss a single one of my Scratch builds. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. The girder sprite you see listed never actually shows itself. Its only job is to be the stamp that prints the beams. It hides, then spawns 4 copies of itself, numbered 0 to 3. Each copy picks its costume, sits in the center of the stage, and drops itself behind Mario and the barrels. On the rivet stage, we switch to the blue beam costumes, which is just the red costume number plus 5. Every other stage uses the red beams, and on the moving elevator stage, the 2 middle beams stay hidden, because that's where the open lift shafts are. When Donkey Kong stomps, every beam runs the same little routine at once. It jolts a few pixels down, across back, then snaps home. Because they all fire together, the whole steel structure shudders as one. Kong is never just a statue. He beats his chest on a loop of 2 frames the whole time the game is running. On the girder stages, he also hurls barrels down the slopes. Watch the timing before each throw. We wait a random gap, never shorter than about 1.3 seconds, so the barrels don't bunch up. And that gap shrinks as the stage number climbs. Higher stage, smaller gap, more barrels coming at you. That's the difficulty curve, built right in. On the elevator stage, there are no slopes for a barrel to roll down, so Kong just pounds his chest while the lifts do the work. At the start of a stage, we stand him back upright at his perch, because he may have toppled off the last rivet stage. Then, on the barrel stages only, he climbs on and stomps twice, shaking every beam. A busy flag holds his main loop still so nothing interrupts the stomp, and this is the rivet stage payoff. The supports are gone, so Kong wobbles, tips head over heels, and drops clean off the bottom of the screen. We freeze his chest beating first so it can't fight the fall, then hand straight over to the stage clear. On the green flag, the title screen takes over, so Mario simply hides and waits. The real game begins when the player presses space. When it does, we reset every counter: live, score, stage, the bonus clock. Then we pick this stage's layout before telling everyone the stage has changed, so the backdrop, Kong and the lifts all read the same fresh value. The stages cycle through 4 types: barrels, rivets, harder barrels, then the moving platforms. We drop Mario in just above the bottom beam and let gravity settle him onto it. Starting him in the air is deliberate. If the player is still holding space from the start, it can't count as a jump. He just falls and lands. Now the heart of it. This forever loop runs every single tick. Read the keys, climb or fall, choose a costume, handle the hammer, check for Pauline. Walking is simple. Press right, face right, move 3 pixels. The left-right rotation flips his picture without turning him upside down. Left is the mirror of that. Then we clamp him to the screen edges so he can't walk off. Here's the clever part. To know if he's on a ladder, we don't check color, we check position. Is Mario lined up with a ladder and between its bottom and its top? Because the broken ladders stop halfway, this means he can never climb past a break and never climb in thin air. So on a ladder and pressing up or down, he climbs, and we cycle the 2 climb costumes so he really shins up it. Otherwise, he falls under gravity and lands on the nearest beam, one or the other every tick. And this is the entire platformer engine in 2 lines. Press space on the ground, and he gets one upward kick, a speed of 7.5. Then, line 1, we pull that speed down by 0.6 every tick. That's acceleration. Line 2, we move him by that speed. That's the fall. The hop is tuned so he just clears a barrel, but can never reach the floor above. That's what the ladders are for. After he moves, we hunt for a beam at his feet. Find one, stop the fall, mark him grounded. Find nothing, he's in the air, so he keeps falling. Left lifts carry him up, right lifts carry him down. A counter flips his 2 walk costumes so his legs actually stride. Grab the hammer and he swings it. On the barrel stages, it runs out after 5 seconds and blocks jumping and climbing, a real risk and reward. But on the rivet stage, the hammer never expires and he can still climb, because there it isn't a weapon, it's the tool. Reach the top beam next to Pauline and you win the stage. A clearing flag makes sure that fires once, not once every tick. Lose a life and he thuds, drops a life, loses the hammer and goes back to the start. At 0 lives, it's game over. Every barrel you see is a clone of one hidden original. Each throw from Kong stamps out one clone, and on a new stage or a lost life, the clones all delete themselves so the screen resets clean. A fresh barrel appears at Kong's feet, rolling to the right, sitting behind the beams. If it's on a girder, it rolls 3 pixels in its current direction and spins its costume every few ticks. When it rolls off the end of a beam, it drops and starts falling. Otherwise, it snaps onto the beam under it and flips its direction. That flip is exactly what makes the barrel zigzag down the slopes. When it's falling, the same gravity trick as Mario takes over. Speed down a notch each tick, move by that speed until the next beam catches it. Reach the very bottom and it rolls a dice. Roughly 1 time in 3, it lights a fireball down by the oil drum. Either way, the barrel then deletes itself. And if it touches Mario, 2 things can happen. With the hammer out, he smashes it for points, and the reward scales with how high he's climbed. 300 low down, 500 in the middle, 800 near the top, just like the arcade. Without the hammer, you lose a life. There's also a quiet bonus. Jump cleanly over a barrel and you score 100 points, but only the first time, because a counted flag stops it scoring twice. The fireballs are clones too, lit either by a barrel reaching the oil drum or by the rivet and harder barrel stages, which send a couple out themselves to patrol while there are no barrels to light them. Each one patrols the girders slowly, 1.5 pixels a step, which makes it harder to dodge than a barrel. It hugs the slopes with the same surface snap routine the barrels use, and it bounces off the screen edges instead of falling away, so it paces back and forth along the beams. Every so often it hops up 1 girder height, and the snap then sticks it to the beam above, so over time the fireballs climb towards Mario. Touch one and, with the hammer, you smash it for 800 points. Without it, you lose a life. A hammer power-up floats above a girder, pulsing so you can spot it. There are 2 of them on the beam stages, and they hide on the moving stage where the middle beams are gone. The script watches for Mario touching one while he isn't already holding a hammer. The moment he does, we arm it, start its 5-second timer, play the pickup sound, and take it off the screen until the next stage. A new stage brings the hammer back for the taking, and if Mario dies on the rivet stage, he drops it, so we put it back, because otherwise he'd be stranded with bolts still in, and no tool to knock them out. On the barrel stages, though, a used hammer stays used. At the very top of the tower waits Pauline, and reaching her is how you clear the stage. To show you where to go, she waves and calls for help. Her costume flips to the waving frame while the speech bubble is up, then back to standing, over and over. The upward lifts come from a hidden spawner that never moves. On the moving stage, it waits a moment for the old lifts to clear, then stamps out 3 evenly spaced platforms in its shaft. Each platform slides up the shaft at the current lift speed, which grows on later elevator stages, When it runs off the top, it wraps back to the bottom, shifting by the full shaft height, so the three always stay evenly spaced. Mario reads touching one to ride it upward, and if the stage ever changes away from the moving stage, the lift removes itself because it doesn't belong anywhere else. The downward lifts are the same idea, mirrored. A hidden spawner stamps out 3 platforms in its own shaft, but these slide downward. Ride one and you lose height. When a platform runs off the bottom, it wraps back to the top, keeping the spacing even forever, and it deletes itself the moment the stage is no longer the moving one. Springs only appear on the elevator stage. The original is a hidden spawner that, roughly once a second, stamps out a bouncing clone. The timing is random, so their rhythm never settles into something you can switch your brain off for. Each spring carries a sideways speed and its own vertical velocity, and it reuses the same gravity trick as Mario and the barrels. It falls under gravity, and the instant it dips to the top girder's surface, we kick its velocity. Back up. That single line is the endless bounce. Once it rolls past the end of the beam, there's no floor to catch it, so it just sails off and falls away. And if a spring catches Mario, he loses a life. There's no hammer on this stage, so there's no smashing your way out of one. The rivets come from a hidden spawner that only does anything on the rivet stage. It resets the count to 0 and stamps out all 8 bolts on the ends of the beams for Mario to pull. Each bolt waits to be hit with the hammer. Mario has to be touching it and holding the hammer. The first hit knocks it out. We count it, play the clang, and it vanishes, and a pulled flag stops it being counted twice. With no hammer, nothing happens, so you have to grab the hammer first. The hit that takes the tally to 8 is the last support gone, and that sends the Kong fall message. That's the win. The score, high score, bonus clock and stage number all use the same trick. There's 1 sprite per digit, and each one shows the matching number costume for its column, dividing the value down and taking the remainder to pick its digit. Updated forever, so it reads like a live arcade scoreboard. The spare lives are little Marios under the score, each lit while you still have that many lives, and going dark as you lose them. On the green flag, the intro freezes the game and covers everything with the "How high can you get" title card. It then waits, checking every single frame so even a quick tap registers for the space key. The instant it's pressed, it hides and broadcasts start game, which builds stage 1 and lets Mario move. While it's up, the prompt blinks and a short title jingle loops, both stopping the moment the game begins. When a new stage is built, a banner flashes the stage number in the centre of the screen. 3 quick blinks then gone, so it never blocks play. And when you run out of lives, the game over banner appears, plays its tune, and then stop all freezes every sprite, so nothing keeps moving behind it. And next week we are building Pac-Man, a proper arcade faithful. 4 ghosts each with a different target tile algorithm. Blinky direct, Pinky 4 ahead, Inky vector through Blinky, Clyde coward. A global mode timer, scatter to chase, and power pellets that flip everything to frightened.